In this video, I'm basically going to be doing an infield breakdown of approaching multiple girls. And you've probably been in that scenario so many times, just like how I have. You see multiple girls, maybe it's one cute girl in a group of girls, or it's multiple cute girls, but you just don't approach because you don't know what to say when there's multiple girls. So here's the first part of the infield.
Sorry to bother you guys. I was actually looking for something for my mom's birthday, but I noticed both of you. I thought you were cute. I just had to say something. What are your names? Nice to meet you.
I asked their names. They're very receptive. They're not mean. They don't back off. Just simply offering a compliment. Most of the time, that's really the best way to open. And I often tell guys that really you overthink so much. Just compliment them.
I just walked by, but I noticed you real quick. I thought you were really cute. I just wanted to say hi.
Oh,
yeah.
you. That's so sweet.
What's your name?
Nice to meet you.
Hey, excuse me? Sorry, this is kind of random. I was headed to my friend's place, but I actually just noticed you. I thought you were really cute. I had to come say hi.
That's so nice.
So one of the best openers always, regardless if it's just one girl, if it's multiple girls, telling the girl that she's cute, you wanted to say hi. And even if it's a group of girls where you just find one of them attractive, simply just saying that line, I thought you guys were attractive, just wanted to say hi. It never lets you down, you know? And then later on in the conversation, you can just shift towards the girl that you actually do find attractive. So in this next part of the infield, whatever you guys are talking about, at some point in the conversation, it's crucial to ask these two logistical questions. Are you from the area? And at some point in the conversation, you want to ask her, what are you up to the rest of the day? These are important logistical questions really to see if you could seed that Insta date. And the Insta date is basically going on a date right after conversating with the girl right then and there. You never know when a girl is just out at the store, out at a coffee shop, just simply chilling and is open to hanging out for a bit. And that first logistical question, are you from the area? It's pretty good as well to see if this could potentially be somebody that you can date long-term, right? You might be someone that's looking for that long-term relationship. This is going to be an important question to ask because you're not going to be able to get into a long-term relationship with a girl that's in a completely different city or is somewhere across the globe or super far away. So that's why I always recommend, for those two reasons, to ask those two logistical questions at some point during the conversation. So with that being said, let's check out more of the infield.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Are you guys
too.
from the area and stuff?
No, I'm visiting from out of town. I'm
Oh
from
shit.
Chicago.
Chicago? Are you in town and stuff?
Yeah, but we go to.
Oh
Yes,
shit.
in
The
New
university?
Orleans. Yeah.
Oh dang. How do you like it down in?
It's great. It's awesome.
Is it a party school? Wait, are you guys in a sorority? You kind of seem like it. What a sorority?
I'm in Pi Phi.
Pi Phi. Okay.
A Phi.
Oh no. Ooh, rivals, right? I think. I don't know. I was in but
Oh, okay. What's
yeah.
cool?
I don't know if you guys have heard of it or not, but
Yes, I actually have a friend that goes there.
oh really? Yeah, it's a very studious school. But anyway, sorry to bother you.
No.
Yeah. How often do you come back to DMV area?
I'm not gonna be back until. Whoa. I know. We haven't decided what we're doing. I don't really know.
Do you guys travel together?
Yeah.
Okay.
We do. With some of our other friends.
Gotcha.
So in this next part, they say that they're not from the area and they go to a university that's nowhere near my vicinity, right? So right then and there, I can sense the logistics. Long-term dating wise, this most likely isn't going to work out. They're just visiting. They're not here long-term. They're all the way in another state. So dating wise, long-term, this probably isn't going to work out, but hey, it is what it is, right? Instead of me pressing for the number, I decide to make a little bit of small talk, right? There's still so many guys that go into these conversations and within, 10, 20 seconds, they're just asking for the number straight up. You want to have conversation before asking for the number, and you always want to point out something that she says in the conversation when you're talking to her, right? Or just point out pretty much anything that they could start talking about. So they're in university, they're not from the area. So for me personally, What do I say in this interaction? So, university, I can relate to that a little bit, right? Years ago, I was in college. I was a college student at one point. And what are some things about that time period that I recall, that I know about? Well, at the top of my head, I'm not going to lie to you. When I was in university, I was in a Greek life organization, right? It kind of highlighted a lot of my university. And not to say that it was necessarily a bad experience or anything like that. I'm still friends with a bunch of those guys. However, there's a lot of guys in there that weren't the best type of people, a lot of degenerates. And as a result, I too kind of engaged in a lot of this degenerate behavior with all the partying and just not making the best use of my time back in the day. But not to go too off tangent about my past, the main theme from university that I can kind of relate to personally was the Greek life. That's why I immediately asked something that I could relate to, something that I could point out that I'm also a little bit familiar with, which is Greek life. So I asked them, hey, are you guys in a sorority, right? Because that's something I can comfortably talk about because I was in a Greek organization. I was in a fraternity at one point. A lot of times it's just good to point out something that they say specifically and really talk about that and relate it towards your experiences. So they mentioned university. One of the biggest experiences for me in university was joining a Greek life organization. Yeah, there were ups, there were downs. It wasn't the best experience, but it was something that I could talk about and kind of relate it. Just so this interaction wasn't just simply in, get the number, and then get out, you know? So actually listen to what women say when you talk to them. Actually take the effort, listen and see if there's anything that you can point out in the conversation that you might be familiar with. And I even made a little bit of a joke too, right? Ooh, aren't you guys rivals? And honestly, I don't remember shit about Greek life, let alone fraternities or sororities and who's rivals with who. So I kind of just made that joke up right on the spot, but they played into it. They thought it was a little bit funny. So with all that being said, point out things and actually listen to what they say and see if you can actually relate it to yourself. So with all that being said, let's dive in more into the infield.
Well, my Wi-Fi's kind of acting janky, but I'll grab your number. Maybe I'll shoot you a text or something, and next time you're in town, or we could link up, grab a coffee, if you're down.
Yes, I am. Which is...
What time do you go back? Maybe we could get a coffee tomorrow morning if you're down.
Oh, my flight is literally at 8 a.m.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck that then.
Yeah. But
all right. Well, I'll shoot you a text.
Yes,
we'll
definitely.
figure something out.
Yes.
Nice meeting you guys.
So before we hop into this last part of the infield, this is a really good example of narrowing down onto one girl, right? So the blonde throughout this interaction was a little bit more receptive to me than the brunette. Whereas the brunette was kind of in and out of the conversation. And as you can see in the clip, she starts to back away and starts doing shopping, looking at the items on the shelf, right? She's not as engaged in the conversation as the blonde. The blonde just seemed more receptive, better eye contact. The blonde was more engaged in the interaction. Now, it's going to obviously be easier if you find all the girls in that group attractive, right? There's going to be at least one of them probably that's more receptive than the other, that's giving you better eye contact. You can zoom in and start shifting the conversation more towards them. Now, if you're in a situation where you find just one of the girls attractive in that group and you find there's zero receptivity, she starts backing away, doesn't really care to continue on the conversation, gets distracted, starts looking at her phone, right? At that point in time, you can kind of call that a dead interaction and say something along the lines of, well, it was nice meeting you guys. And then you can go ahead and get on with your day, which happens a lot, right? It's unfortunate. But if you are in that situation where you find multiple of those girls attractive, obviously go for the one that's more receptive, giving you better eye contact, and just seems more engaged in the interaction. So in this interaction, as you can see, the brunette kind of wasn't as engaged, started, looking at other things on the shelf, started making less eye contact. So I shifted my focus more towards the blonde. She originally had said she was out of town, right? So obviously she has a flight to catch, and I asked her if she wanted to get a coffee tomorrow morning before she leaves. But in this specific instance, she's out of town. There's that variable where she might be leaving as soon as later on in the day or even the next day. So right then and there, I kind of went for a Hail Mary and asked her if she was down to grab a coffee tomorrow. And unfortunately, her flight is in the morning, in the AM. Nevertheless, ended up getting her contact information and then told her I'll send her a text and we could figure things out in the future. Now, ended up not texting her because logistically, it just wasn't going to work out, right? The inconsistencies of when she's going to be back in town is a huge variable, right? So logistically, it wasn't going to work out, but nevertheless, hopefully you learned something out of this interaction, more so how to talk and open multiple girls at once. And sometimes you do have to be a little bit gamey when it comes to these group interactions. And the best way to kind of do it is address the whole group. Be like, hey, I noticed you guys. I thought you were cute. Just wanted to say hi. Even if you don't find all of them attractive, shift your focus to her. Shift your focus to the girl that you find more attractive in the conversation. Overall, I hope this infield interaction helped you just see how you can approach multiple girls at once. And it's a good thing if she's being receptive, giving you good eye contact, engaging in the conversation, and always listen to what they're talking about so you can bring up points and point out something that she's talking about as well. And if you're a South Asian guy who's struggling with your dating life, be sure to check out that first link in the description and join my South Asian Warriors school community, where I help South Asian men level up their dating life and help them with various aspects of self-improvement as well. And with all that being said, like, comment, subscribe, drop a comment below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.